So back again to our slopes. Now just to recap just about your slopes before we go back into the next part. So what type of a line is this? It's a positive line. Why? Because the line is increasing as I move from the left to the right. The slope of the line is equal to a half. And Mr. Landy went through yesterday, we refer to it as M. Right, what about this line here? This is a negative slope. How do we know? Because the line is decreasing as I move from the left to the right. So that slope won't be 2/3, it will be negative 2/3. So when you look at the slope of the line L here, the slope of the line L is equal to a half. So we now know it is a half. What would be the slope of any line that would run parallel to that? So if it was running parallel to it, it'll run like this. Do you see it? What did we say yesterday? It'll have the same slope. So it'll have the same slope, so it'll be a half. The next one then is, if you had a line that was perpendicular, how would you get the slope of the line if it was perpendicular? We turn it upside down and change your sign. So turn a half upside down, it becomes 2/1. Change the sign from plus a half to negative. Now it doesn't matter where you put the minus. You can put it in front of the 2 or the 1. It doesn't matter where you put it. Alright, it's getting a bit blurry there now, guys. I'm just watching it. Right, the next one, the slope of the line M. So if you look at the line M is a slope of minus 2/3. So it's minus 2/3. What's the slope of any line parallel to that? Slope of any line parallel to it is the same, so minus 2/3. What's the slope of any line perpendicular to it? So if it's perpendicular, what do we do? Turn it upside down, so 3/2, and change the sign. So it is a minus 3/2 or 2/3. So here, this becomes plus. Change the sign. Now, that'll be in your notes that you can transfer over the page in a second. Right? So let's have another look. I'll just try and steady this up a small bit here because I think it's getting quite blurry. Right, so the next one we have is, right, we have the lines A, B, C and D are 4 lines, are 4 points. So A is there, B is there, C is there and C is there. Now you're asked to find the slope of AB. So you come down like Mr. Landy went through yesterday with you and you use your slope formula. What did he say? Label your points, x1, y1, x2, y2. Write down your formula and then fill in. So the slope y2 is 3. Take away y1, 0. Right, underneath the line, what do I have? X2 is 4. Take away x1, minus 2. So the 2 minuses will make plus. So I am now left with 3/6. Now you could break that down because you know 3/6 is a half if you want it. Or leave it as 3/6, that's fine too. Second thing asks you to find the slope of CD. So again, write down your 2 points, label them x1, y1, x2, y2. Write down your formula, then fill into it. y2 is 1. Take away y1, minus 1. So there's 2 minuses there. See, the 2 minuses will come together to make a plus, just like we had in our last question. Underneath the line, x2 is what? 5. Take away x1, which is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 5 take 1 is 4. And again, that can be broken down to a half. So the slope of the first one is a half. And the slope of the second one is a half. So my answer for part 2 is a half. My answer for part 1 is a half. Now look at part 3 in the question. What were you asked? What can you say about the 2 slopes? The 2 slopes are the same. So if they are the same, they are parallel lines. They are parallel lines. So the slopes are the same. Don't say they are the same, just say they are parallel lines. All right? Look at the next one then that I have here. Right, and again, right, we're given 4 points, A, B, C, D. Find the slope of AB. So what do? I write down my points, minus 1, 0, B is 3, 2. Up on the top, label them, x1, y1, x2, y2. Next step, write down the formula for the slope. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Quickly filling it in. y2 is 2, take away. y1 is 0. Under the line, x2 is 3. Take away x1, which is minus 1. So again, remember, the 2 minuses stuck together make a plus. So these 2 will make plus. So what have I got? M is equal to. So 2 minus 0 is 2. 3 plus 1 is 4. We can break that down again and we get a half. Okay? The next one, we have the line CD, part 2. Again, find the slope of CD. Write down your point C. It's minus 1, 4. Write down your point D, 2 minus 2. What do? x1, y1, x2, y2. So it's the same for every question. Write down your formula. y2 take y1, x2 take x1. So what have I got? M is equal to y2 is minus 2. Take away y1, 4. Under the line, x2 is 2. Take away x1 minus 1. Again, the two minuses make plus. We'd go through that. So what have I got? Minus 2 minus 4, minus 6. 2 plus 1, 3. What's minus 6 divided by 3? Is minus 2 over 1, or just minus 2. Now, what can you say about the two lines? The two lines, if you look at them, first one is a half, the other one is minus 2 over 1. They are not the same this time, but if I turn this upside down, I get 2 over 1, and if I change the sign, I get minus 2 over 1. So what could we say? They are perpendicular. So they are perpendicular lines. Okay, right? So perpendicular. Now, if you wanted to use your calculator to show that, all you have to do is 1/2 multiplied by minus 2 over 1. Put the fraction in your calculator. You get minus 1. And that shows they are perpendicular. Okay, remember the symbol, perpendicular. Right? Parallel is different, perpendicular. All right, so what I've done here is I've just written down in your notes, you can put these into your notes, a slope formula. If the lines are parallel, their slopes will be the same. If the lines are perpendicular, they'll multiply to give minus 1 and multiply them in your calculator. How do you find a perpendicular slope? Turn it upside down, change the sign. So I'll take a picture of that and then put it on the Google Classroom.